Who is that under Kirkland? I don't know who that is. Anyway, hi everybody. Like I was just saying, I'd love to see some faces. Those of you who are actually on the Zoom, I mean, I'm happy to speak to just Karen's face and a bunch of other names, but I'd love to see some faces. And anybody who's watching the live stream on Facebook, if you're watching live, comment so we know you're watching live on Facebook. If you're watching it in replay, drop a comment that you're watching it in replay. I cannot believe it's the end of August. This summer has kind of just gotten away from us. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I feel like the summer's totally just like gotten away, and I can't believe we're coming into September already. But that's a good thing. That's an exciting thing. I think every one of us has struggled a bit in our business throughout the summer. And I just
Mhm.
want every one of you to know, oh, now I know who you are. I saw Kirkland Edwards and I did not know who I was speaking to. So I think we've all struggled, no matter where you are in your business. If you're brand new, if you've been around for a long time, I think we've all, struggled in one way or another over the summer. And I want everybody to know that it's normal. Okay. I don't think there's anybody on this call right now. Debbie's coming on. So Debbie's been around for a little bit, but anybody who has not been here for longer than a year doesn't know what a typical summer looks like with Pampered Chef. So I just want to kind of start this by saying this is typical. The summer is slow. The summer is more difficult. People are doing things in the summer. People are busy in the summer. People are less connected in the summer. And I think coming off of the last year and a half that we've had that were like super busy, super crazy, super pumped up, it's felt like a lot. But I promise you, I'm already seeing things turn around. The bookings are there. September is the turnaround point. It's the beginning of our busy season. It's the new catalog, which is amazing. And we have tons of stuff in our catalog for everybody. So I'm super, super excited about that. And it's also the first step towards holiday, right? So our company is poised to do all the things during holiday, not only holiday shopping for gifts, but also we provide the tools that people need to host holidays because the fall is cooking time. So think about that. Think about as we're going into fall, look at it with a, positive light and think about what kind of things you can do to end your year on a strong note. And today's training specifically is about subscriptions. And I think subscriptions are something that if you focus on selling subscriptions during our busy season in the fall, they can help carry you through our slower times. So January, February tend to be slower, just like July and August tend to be slower. So think about what can happen if during September, October, November, December, which are our busiest 4 months of the year, without a doubt, think about how selling subscriptions in those 4 months can carry you through January and February while your business may be quieter than it was the previous months. The goal really is to make yourself active every month with subscriptions. And I'm going to go into details. I'm going to talk about what the subscriptions are, why subscriptions, how subscriptions. I'm going to cover it all. But I just want you guys to look at this training and think about how you can position yourself to sell subscriptions when your business is on a ramp up on this roller coaster that our business is. And this way, if you're coming down or you're coasting, those subscriptions can really carry you forward and you can be active without even having to do anything. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and use one of my happy little slideshows because they keep me on topic, because you all know that I can go all over the place if I don't have something keeping me on topic. If anybody has any questions, please, you can drop in the chat. You can just interrupt me and ask. That's why I have a slideshow. So if I get interrupted or if I get distracted, I can go right back to where I was. So don't hesitate to ask questions. So let's talk about subscriptions. What are they? How can I sell them? And why should I sell them? So it's important to me always to know the how and the what as well as the why instead of just telling you what to do, because that's not going to help anybody. So I want to go over some of the details and then why subscriptions are helpful and then how to sell them. Okay. So we have two different subscription services currently with Pampered Chef, Enrichables and Taste Buds. Enrichables has been around longer. We've had Enrichables. Enrichables now has some really good history behind it. We've had it, I want to say, for 2 years now. I'm really bad with the last year. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. I don't know. But it's been around long enough that we have some tried and true results. I am on a council for home office with subscriptions, and I can tell you that there are many people who subscribe to Enrichables in the first couple of months that are still subscribers. So this is something that people try it. And if they don't like it off the bat, they're probably not going to like it. But if they like it, they will be with you forever. So if you find those Enrichables customers, they will stay with you. And as long as you do the things that you need to do to keep them engaged, you're not going to lose those customers. And we'll talk a little bit about that also. So Enrichables is nutrition boosters. So we have 3 different options. I'm going to talk a little bit more in detail, but those are our Enrichable nutrition boosters. And then there's Taste Buds. Taste Buds is newer. There isn't quite as much history, so we don't know as much about it, but we do know that it's picking up traction. It's picking up ground, and the people that are embracing Taste Buds are seeing really great success in their monthly sales. And Taste Buds is the monthly delivery service of recipes, spices, and inspiration. So here are some details. So Enrichables comes in 3 options. We have our Super Veggie, our Pea Protein, and our Kale and Fiber. The Super Veggie being the newest option. Pea Protein and Kale and Fiber have been around since the launch of the program. There are 2 sizes. There's the small pouch or the Try Me size, which is 24 scoops. And then, there's the large pouch, which is 48 scoops. Then there are 4 purchasing options. So with Enrichables, you can sell one-time buys. People do not have to subscribe. So there are people who are hesitant to subscribe to things. There are people who have had subscription services in the past that maybe they didn't like, or they felt tied to it. So for something like Enrichables, you can have those people buy a one-time buy, and then it's your job to follow up with them after the fact to turn those into subscriptions. So they can do the one-time buy, they could do a month-to-month subscription, they could do a 3-month subscription or a 6-month subscription. Just so you guys know, the way the 3 and 6-month subscriptions work, you pay the price up front for the 3 or 6 months, and then those 3 or 6 months will deliver, and you won't get charged again until the end of those deliveries. And then you'll get charged another 3 or 6 months. If someone decides they want to cancel at some point in that, they would cancel it. They were already charged, so they'll already get those 3 or 6 months delivered, but they'll never renew. So that's what a cancellation looks like when someone picked a 3 or 6 month option of either subscription program. All subscription options for both programs have free shipping. So anybody's renewals will always come with free shipping. Nobody pays anything. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the add-on marketplace later. Anything added to a subscription in the add-on marketplace also has free shipping. So there's never a shipping charge on any sort of subscriptions. There is the Enrichables microsite, which has tons of resources and recipes. If you're not familiar with the Enrichables microsite, get familiar. Basically, type in your PWS, your website, /Enrichables. It will take you to the microsite. There's information on each variety in there. There's recipe options in there. So not only should you be familiar with it, but you should be able to get your customers familiar with it. And then subscribers will have access to the add-on marketplace, which I'll give some more info on later. That's going to become available at the middle of September for October renewals. So that's very exciting. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see how that helps us out moving into September and October. Then there's Taste Buds. Taste Buds is our second subscription service. This is our meal delivery, meal inspiration delivery service. So it doesn't actually deliver the meals. It's the spices, the recipes, the themes, the inspiration. It's not just the 3 recipes. And I think it's important that everybody understands that. So you get your 3 recipe cards in your envelope with the 3 spices. Each of those spice packs are good for way more. I think it's like 3 full meals. So it's not just like that spice goes with that recipe card. You can make either that recipe multiple times, or you can go into the website. And as you have to be a subscriber to have access to the Taste Buds website. Once you're a subscriber as a consultant or as a customer, you can access it, and it gives you lots of other recipes that you can make with each of those spices. So say you really love the spice, you love the recipe, you want to make something else with it, you go into the microsite and it gives you all these other ideas of things that you can do. When you get your subscription in the mail, when it comes with like one card that tells you the theme and all the recipes on it. And there's a barcode on it that you can scan, and it takes you right to the microsite. So it's super easy, or you could just type in the website, but it's super easy to just scan and go and find all the other recipes. So there are 3 purchasing options. You cannot get Taste Buds currently without a subscription. It's only the month-to-month, the 3-month, or the 6-month. However, this month we have been blessed with the guest special. So anybody who spent $80 this month got a taste of Taste Buds. So they got a delivery of an abbreviated Taste Bud. So we have a great selection of people that we can reach out to and talk to them about the subscription. And I'll go into that a little bit later in the training as well. They have access to the Taste Buds Hub, which is what I was just talking about. And they also have access to exclusive rubs and seasonings. So like this past month, there were 2 rubs in Taste Buds that are not available in our catalog. They're not available to anybody else. So somebody's dog is barking. Mute yourself, please. These are perks to being a subscriber to Taste Buds. You get to try new seasonings that you're actually going to be asked about by home office to see if maybe these are things we're going to want to go forward with in the future. Some people really love the exclusivity of those sorts of things. So these are all things to keep in mind while you're talking about our subscriptions, and just so you have a broader understanding of what our subscriptions are. Why focus on subscriptions? Truth, it's all about the money. It's about the dollars, it's about the sales, and it's about what it can do to your business every single month. So this is my inbox on the first of the month. Those are all orders that come in after midnight on the first of the month with all of my renewals that are taking place on the first of the month. How amazing would it be to wake up on the first of every single month as a green consultant with $150 in sales or more, obviously, but how good would it feel to on the first of the month to already have earned a paycheck, to already be an active consultant, and you haven't even done a thing. You have not, it just happens itself. So this shows you that I have 21 active subscribers with a total product value of $1,000 or 1088, whatever. That doesn't mean every single month I have that much renewing, because some of these are 3-month or 6-month subscriptions. So it alternates from month to month. But when you have 20 active subscribers, you're guaranteed to be active on the first of every single month. Sometimes it's a couple hundred more, sometimes it's a couple hundred less, but I never have to worry. On the first of the month, I am good to go. And how good would that feel for you to not even have to think on the first of the month and open up your stats and to see this? Okay, so how do we sell subscriptions? There were really 2 places to sell subscriptions. There is social media, so your VIP group or your Instagram or, you know, whatever other social media outlets you're on, if you're on TikTok or whatever. And then in your parties. So I'm going to speak to virtual parties. You can absolutely sell them in cooking shows if you guys are branching out and doing cooking shows. I'm going to focus on what I do and what I know, which is virtual parties. So I'm going to talk to both of these. So here are the key components to selling subscriptions in these 2 areas. So on social media and in your virtual parties, the number 1 thing that you need to do to sell these subscription services is to be a subscriber. If you do not subscribe, if you don't subscribe to Taste Buds, and if you do not purchase or subscribe to Enrichables, you're not going to sell it. You need to use it and love it and believe in it in order to sell it. And that's the case with most of our products. But the thing is, we have a lot of products that people learn about on their own. You know, I never show the mix and chop. Let me tell you guys, I don't like the mix and chop. I may be the only person on the planet that doesn't like the mix and chop. It's like the number 1 selling item. I don't like the mix and chop. I never highlight it in my parties. I never show it in my parties. You know what? It's in my top 5 selling items every month, every year for the entire time I'm a consultant. So that's one of those things that you never have to use and love. You never have to show. Subscriptions are new. They're a new product. They're a new concept. They're a new category. If you're not using and loving them, you're not showing them with like passion of actually believing in them, you're not going to sell them. So that's number 1 is you need to subscribe and use these products yourself. Social media, you need to be consistent with it. You can't post once a month about Enrichables or just post the day you get your Taste Buds and expect that that's going to be enough to get your audience excited. You need to consistently and regularly post about these products and these programs. You need to find different ways, and I'm going to give you some examples, but you need to find different ways to put these in front of your audience, your VIPs or your Instagram followers on a regular basis. You need to be intentional. You need to plan to use these things, okay? You need to keep your Enrichables out on your kitchen counter. If they're in a cabinet, you're not going to use them. I'm telling you from experience. There have been times where I'm like, I don't want the clutter out. I'm putting it away. And then I go weeks without using it. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't used my Enrichables at all. Leave them on your counter, and then you'll be more likely to use them. So be intentional about what you're doing. And with the Taste Buds, plan out when you're going to be cooking those recipes. Plan out how you're going to be promoting these programs. So this way, you're not going to forget. You're not going to it's not going to fall by the wayside. Be fun and relatable. Always be fun and relatable. Be true to your brand, whatever your brand is, and how these programs and these products fit in. Show different ways to use them. Don't just show Enrichables the same way every month. Don't show only every day that you put it in your smoothie. Show that you put it in your sauce, in your meatloaf, in your brownies, or whatever you're putting it in. Show it all different ways. And if you don't use it in all different ways, make sure you're intentionally showing home office stuff like marketing imagery or recipes on the website. Make sure you're sharing all the different things that you can do with it. Same thing with taste buds. Make sure you're showing all the recipes being cooked, not just you opening them. Opening it is important, but you want to show it being cooked. Show the recipes from the website also that you're using and be like, oh, we love this so much that we went onto the website, onto the hub, and we're cooking the other recipe that came for this rub that was on the hub. Share the perks. So you want to make sure, in addition to showing the actual product, you're talking about the perks. So like for taste buds this past month, you want to really play up that these are exclusive seasonings. These are things that nobody else can get except for our subscribers. And you want to talk about the recipes and the things that they get that other people will not get. I'm going to move the faces so I can look at the other side. Okay. In virtual parties, it's a very similar concepts, just applied a little bit differently. Obviously, subscribe. Be consistent. So you can't just post one time about Enrichables and one time about taste buds and think that that's going to cover it. You need to make sure you have them covered different ways throughout the 5 days of your party or however many days your party is. So you want to introduce the subscriptions, talk about them. You want to show, in another post, another day, you want to show them being used. In another post, and another day, maybe do a game of this or that where they get to see 2 different recipes. Or you have to think about how you're showing these things at multiple points in the party. There are multiple reasons for this. Number one, most people don't see every post in your party. That's just how Facebook is. And even with table, I think people are going to maybe see some days, some people will come back, some people won't come back. So you want to make sure you're touching people no matter what point they check into your party. So you want to make sure you're talking about these multiple times. And then for those people who are following and seeing all of your posts, you want to really imprint it into their head so they think about it. Otherwise, they're just thinking about the things they were already thinking about. Oh, I need to get a whisk and I maybe need a new pan for my mom. Oh, and I broke my stone. No one's like, oh, I need a new subscription service. You need to plant that in their head. You need to talk about it and make sure that they're aware that that's something that they need and that this can better their lives. Be intentional. You want to make sure they're in your outline every single month. You don't want to skip months. You don't only want to promote it if there's a special going on. Like you want this to be something you talk about all the time. So it's always there intentionally. Fun and relatable. Same thing I just talked about. Share the perks. Same I just talked about, do a video, do a live. That will always come across in a clearer way than just putting a picture or a link or something like that. So here are some examples of ways that I show these subscription services to help sell them in my VIP group. So on one side of the screen, you'll see Enrichables. So you'll see I show all the different ways I use Enrichables. One is in a meat taco bake of some sort. And I'm like, what's for dinner here? So instead of just saying buy Enrichables, I'm not like promoting Enrichables. I'm talking about my dinner. Like, what do you think I'm making with these things? And that creates a conversation. And then there's one that talks about that I have to sneak it in for my kid because my kid is picky and my kid doesn't eat anything. So that's why I sneak it into his sauce, or I put it into my meatballs. And then there's the smoothie because not everybody has kids and not everybody has picky kids. So it's nice to show that you can put it into a smoothie for everybody, for people that don't have children and don't have picky eaters. So those are all different ways that you can promote Enrichables in your VIP group. I'd love to see in the chat or in the comments how you're currently promoting Enrichables in your VIP group. I'm going to move over and talk about taste buds while you guys are doing that. Hopefully, maybe I'll get a couple comments from you guys. Taste buds is different. It's a different type of program. So you have to approach it differently. So number one, you want to unbox it every single month. You want to unbox it. So if you look at the top right picture that I have up there, that like with my kids in it being crazy, I unbox it with my oldest son every month. He loves doing it. He reads the recipes. He talks about the spices. He talks about, which ones he wants to make. So that's my thing. That's my brand, how I do it. Whether you have a kid do it, whether you do it, whether your husband does, I don't really care. But you want it to be something that people see you do every month. I picked that screenshot on purpose with my youngest son like jumping into the picture in the front while my oldest son is like seriously reading in the background. And the reason I picked that screenshot is because I hear all the time that people that, their life is too crazy, that they can't, they can't go live, they can't do videos. Guys, every single one of us has a crazy life. Honestly, every single one of us. different reasons, right? Some people are busy, crazy because they work multiple jobs. Some are busy because they go to school and work a job. Some have like 17 kids. We all have different things going on. My life is crazy. My kids are crazy. My boys are in a bunch of activities. They're hyperactive all over the place. So you just have to embrace what your life is, what your brand is. So Max is sitting there reading the recipes, and Ryan is literally jumping in front of him into the camera saying Lord knows what that has absolutely nothing to do with cooking, Pampered Chef, or Taste Buds. But it doesn't matter because the people that are watching are laughing at Ryan, but listening to Max at the same time. So it doesn't matter. Be true to who you are and be consistent. Every month, I also post a picture that shows the recipes and the spices, and just to get people, seeing what it is. Every time you cook one of these recipes, you want to either go live, do a video, post a picture, something so they see that you're using them. And then you see this is like a little poll that I did, just asking people about their subscriptions. Are you already a subscriber? Are you interested in subscribing, but you hadn't? Do you not like subscriptions? Just a way to get conversation. It's a way to be consistent and always talking about it in my page without maybe always showing the same things. And then these are some ways of showing these subscriptions in your parties versus in your VIP group. So it's similar as in your VIP group, same kind of concepts, except you have to remember these are people who are not watching you week after week, month after month. So you want to make sure you cover the basics, but you also want to make sure you show some versatility. So always do a post in your party, whether it's a video, a live, or a static post that explains what Enrichables is. This breaks down the 3 different types. It talks about what it is. It talks about the subscriptions. It's really a very basic post. But then you want to do other posts throughout your party that are showing different ways to use Enrichables. So this is a post that has nothing to do with Enrichables. It's about pizza night. It's about our stoneware. It's about a recipe. But then it also talks about how you can add pea protein enrichable to the pizza dough. So the post itself has nothing to do with Enrichables. It's not even shown in the picture. But if someone looks at this recipe and they're like, oh, I want to make pizza dough. And then they're like, oh, I could put Enrichables in there. Planting the seeds, there's all different ways you can use Enrichables in different recipes. Our website shows a lot, but there's also different ways you can add it yourself. Let's see what's in the chat here. Leilani posts frequently and use it frequently. I love to highlight how easy it is to incorporate. Yes, because it really is. Like Enrichables, you can throw it in everything. It's like, the Frank's Red Hot commercials, put that shit on everything. Pardon my French. But it's like you can literally just put a scoop into anything, throw it into and whatever you're making for dinner, you can just pop a scoop right in there. No one will know the difference, and show that, and people will catch on. So Taste Buds in your party, also, similar to your VIP group, it's a little different than Enrichables, but let's move this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. Sorry, the thingy with the faces always gets in my way, and then I can't read what I did. Okay, there we go. So here's a couple posts that I had in my outline. I believe it was last month. So one is Tip Tuesday. So I always do a Tip Tuesday every month. So this Tip Tuesday, I talked about meal planning and how important it is to meal plan. And I found this graphic that talks about, one of the things you should do when you meal plan is experiment. So that's a perfect way to say, the experiment day should be one of your Taste Buds recipes. That's a perfect way to incorporate Taste Buds into your weekly meal planning. Then there's my generic Taste Buds post that I do every month, where it's a video of me talking about Taste Buds, a video, there's like a little clip in there of one of the Taste Buds recipes. It's just talking about Taste Buds as a whole. Then you see my this or that. So this or that is great because people love to engage in those types of posts. So they create high engagement throughout. Any kind of this or that creates high engagement. Any recipe, this or that, people love them. So I like to do a Taste Bud one so they can see 2 different Taste Bud recipes and ask them which one they would prefer or their family would prefer. You can tell them to message you for the recipe, and you can even send them the recipe via messenger and tell them, if you subscribe, you're going to get more recipes like this. I think you would love it. And that would open up more doors of communication, specifically for subscriptions, but also for your party in general. And then there's another post right there where I'm showing the jerk chicken. I'm promoting the electric grill and griddle, but I'm also promoting a Taste Buds recipe because that is a Taste Bud recipe. So it talks about how I had never tried jerk before. And when it came in my Taste Buds, I realized how much I loved it. And I'm also talking about the electric grill. So you're cross promoting different things together in the same post. Okay. So I hear this often. I am able to get subscribers, but then they unsubscribe, right? So how do we keep our subscribers? So there's a couple different things that are really important when it comes to keeping your subscribers. One is creating community. Anybody who subscribes to any of your subscription services should be added to your VIP group, because that's where you're going to cultivate the relationship and keep it top of mind and keep it in front of them beyond the party where they purchased it from. Then you want to encourage community. You want to encourage your Taste Bud subscribers to post their meals that they're cooking from Taste Buds. Somebody may have gotten their delivery and totally forgot about it. And then one of your other people in your VIP group post that they cooked it. And I'm like, oh my God, that looks so good. I'm going to cook it. And let me tell you guys, it's always more impactful when someone else posts something on your page than when you do. And that's not because people don't trust you. It's just people hear from you all the time. People know that you benefit from their sales, where other people that are posting are just people that are involved and they're enjoying something. So, it's like reading reviews on a website. People love to see that. So you want to encourage your subscribers to share, whether it's their Taste Buds meals, whether it's their Enrichables end products, like what they use them in, doesn't matter. Be consistent. So how do you keep your subscribers interested? Is being consistent in your VIP group, constantly posting about the subscriptions to keep people thinking about them and excited about them. Because when they forget about them and then they get their next delivery and they haven't used the first delivery yet, that's when they want to cancel, when they realize they're being charged for something that they're not even using. So if you keep them thinking about it in between the 30 days when they get their deliveries, they're going to use their subscription. So they're not going to be as inclined to want to cancel it. Share resources. So in your VIP group, and not just sharing the finished products, but promote the resources, talk about the hub, talk about the microsite, share the e-recipe book. Home office has an Enrichables e-recipe book on the website. Share that so people can see all the different ways to use their products. Be flexible. I've talked about this already, consistently showing different ways to use those products. Okay, this is an important one. And I didn't realize just how important this was until a couple of weeks ago. So, when people place an order and there's the little boxes on the top that you can click to book a party, if they want to join your team. And then there's the box for marketing emails. So I always, in all of my training, I tell you guys that you should be clicking that button for every order. It's especially important for subscriptions. So there are two different types of emails that come from home office. There are order track emails that come from an order, like thank you for your order has shipped. Those go to everybody, doesn't matter. Then there are marketing emails. So in the marketing emails are like the general marketing emails that you see all the time, like with the sales or the recipes. But when it comes to subscriptions, there's extra emails that people are not seeing if they're not opted in. So they're not getting the email that tells them, hey, are you low on your XXX seasoning that you purchased, that was in your Taste Buds 3 months ago? Are you interested in purchasing it again? Or they're not getting the extra Taste Buds, the extra Enrichables emails that give them recipes of things to do with their Enrichables. And even more importantly, going into September, if they are not subscribed to marketing emails, which I just realized is a typo on, they're not mails, they're emails. But there's typos in everything I do, so you guys should be used to it by now. If they're not subscribed to marketing emails, they're not going to get the email reminding them about the add-on marketplace. So the add-on marketplace will be open to anybody who has a renewing subscription the following month, whether they have marketing emails or not. It's open. I believe it's from the 14th to the 24th of the month. There'll be some more training coming our way. But if they are opted into marketing emails, they're also going to get an email reminding them of that, which is going to push them back to the marketplace and have them scroll through the items that they can add to their subscription. And those add-ons are free shipping. So people are going to be more inclined to add some of these smaller or medium-sized items to their subscription because it's already coming. They're already being charged and there's no shipping. So it's easy for them to just add it on. So you want to make sure that they're opted into marketing email so they're reminded every month. So the option is there for them, even if they're not getting the email, but they're not going to be reminded about it. And it's super important because you want it to be top of mind, like with everything else. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Follow up with subscribers. So you want to make sure you're following up with subscribers. You want to send emails, targeted emails to your subscribers with different recipes or ideas. You want to send them links to different things that they can maybe use, like different to the microsite. Make sure they're aware that it's there. I have Taste Bud subscribers who didn't even realize there was a hub, even though it's pointed out on every one of their deliveries. So you want to make sure you're pointing this out to people. So August extras, these are things that are specific to where we stand today. So, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Enrichables one-time buyers. So this Enrichables one-time buyers are for every month. So what I suggest you do in the beginning of every month, run a sales report for anybody who purchased Enrichables in a non-subscription format the previous month. Reach out to them, ask them if they used it, ask them if they like it, ask them what they're using it for, if they need some recipes, if they need some ideas, and then ask them if they're interested in subscribing. Tell them they can subscribe. They will never have to worry about reordering. It's free shipping. It's easy to skip months or cancel if they have to, but you have to reach out to them because they're never going to reach out to you for this. I'm telling you, even if they love it, they're never going to reach out to you. Maybe they'll place a reorder at some point, but they're never going to think to jump in and do the subscription. Then we have our August guest special. So Taste Buds never gives us this option. We're never able to have people try it just once. People have to subscribe. And we all know there are people who are not going to subscribe to something they haven't tried. Even though you could do a month-to-month subscription and cancel it after the first month, people are not inclined, certain people are not inclined to do that. So anybody who spent $80 in the month of August got their taste of Taste Buds. Guys, you should be running this report either now or in the first couple of weeks of September, reaching out to every single person who's gotten the August guest special and ask them, have you used it? Have you tried it? Do you understand what it is? Explain to them what it is and ask them if they'd be interested in trying the subscription. Let them know that the subscription comes with 3 recipes and 3 spices versus the 1 recipe and the 1 spice that came with their guest special. And it comes with a hub, and explain the whole thing to them and see if they're interested in subscribing. Because I guarantee you, if every one of you does this, you're going to gain a couple of subscriptions out of it. And then you have to do all the actions to maintain those subscriptions. Product tester posts. We've talked about this in the past. Do a post in your VIP group and say that you're looking for a product tester, $29, and it can be for either Taste Buds or Enrichables. Get people in to try it, offer an incentive, tell them anybody who opts into being a product tester, I'm going to be giving a free gift with your purchase, or I'm going to be doing a drawing for a larger free gift. Incentivize it, get them in the door, and then get them excited once they're already getting their subscription and try to keep them. And then there's the add-on marketplace, which I touched on a bit. So if you're not familiar with what the add-on marketplace is, it was the concept was launched at conference, and it's actually going to be launched at the end of September. So basically, whenever you have a renewing subscription coming up, so there's a period of 10 days within the month where you have an option to go into this marketplace. It's a curated 25, I believe, items curated by home office each month that they can choose to add onto their subscription. And the way it'll work is when their subscription process is, if it's Taste Buds, it would be the beginning of the month. If it's Enrichables, it would be at whatever point in the month they renew. They would be charged for the item then. It would ship with the items at that point, and they would not be charged shipping on it. The types of items that are going to be on the marketplace. So some of them are going to be stagnant and some are going to be changing every month. So the ones that are going to change every month are mostly pantry items. So anything that was in the prior 2 months Taste Buds are going to be in there. So if they used it and they love it and they want to renew it, they can get a full-size bottle of it, on their next subscription. But then it'll also be some regular items, some of our top sellers, some items that can really be used in everyday cooking. Think about our scrapers or bowls, measuring cups, things like that. I don't know exactly what items they landed on, but they're things that people, I need a new garlic press, and that'll be on there, and they'll just add it on. And that's an extra, $25, $30. I can't remember how much the garlic press is, onto that sale that you're going to wake up to on the first of the month. So not only are you going to get your subscriptions, but you're going to get whatever these people add on. So it's an extra perk for them because it's easy. They don't have to think about it, and they don't have to pay shipping. And it's an extra perk for you because it's extra dollars at the beginning of the month that are going to help start your month off strong. Okay, so I'm going to unshare, stop share, not unshare. Do you guys that are on with me live right now have any questions, or is there anything you want me to talk more about? while I chug my water because my mouth is
I
dry.
have a question.
Mhm.
I just can't wrap my brain around Enrichables. How do I get more excited about them? Like all three of them, not just the veggie one.
So my suggestion, and this, this is take it with a grain of salt, is you don't have to love all three of them.
Okay.
If you can love two of them or even one of them, but if you can love two of them, love those two. I don't ever show kale and fiber anymore. I used to, I don't anymore. Now I use pea protein and super veggie because pea protein and super veggie, I put them to, I use both of them together in everything. Like I do a scoop of this and a scoop of that, and I just do it. Honestly, do you leave it out on your counter in the kitchen?
No.
Leave it on your counter in the kitchen so it's there. So when you're cooking, you're like, let me put it in. Let me just put it in. Let me throw a scoop in. Because the more you do that, the more you'll realize, yes, the kale and fiber is great for stews and tomato sauce. I used to use the kale and fiber a lot. I like super veggie more now because it's more of what my kids need. So I've kind of shifted over, but find, one or two that you love, leave it on your counter and use it. Because when you use it, that's how you're going to start to love it. You're not going to love it if you're not using it. Like I don't love the Flex Plus, and it's not because it's not good. It's because it's sitting in a box and I haven't used it. Like you have to use these things in order to love them. And you have to love them to sell them.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Let me see what else in the chat. Anyone else have any questions or anything? Leilani, I'm sure you have like 4 children jumping on your head right now, which is why you stayed muted. But I know that you've been intentional with your subscriptions over there as well. If anybody's watching this on the live stream on Facebook, you can drop whatever questions you have in there and I'll answer them later when I'm able to pop in there. Love promoting subscriptions. It really, guys, it's really a great way to position yourself to have sales without having a party. So if you have a slow month, you have a cushion. Even if it's a small cushion, any cushion is better than nothing, right? Like any sales that you don't have to do extra work for is better than no sales that you have to do work for, right? Any of you other people, ladies on here, have any other questions or comments or anything you're wondering about with the subscriptions? Open book. Well, you got me here. All right. Then I will let you guys go back to your day. I genuinely love trying new flavors. I love learning about them. Good for you, Leilani. Not everybody feels that way. Like definitely people hesitate to try new things. And I think part of our job is like getting people to not be afraid and getting people to not be afraid of trying new things, getting ourselves to not be afraid of trying new things. Also, not all of us are as adventurous, So if anyone has any questions, pop it into the Facebook chat. I've been loving the taste buds, making lots of the recipes. Yeah, it's fun. It gets me to want to cook. Like I'm not one who loves cooking. I'm not naturally inclined to want to cook all the time. So getting fun recipes every month that I want to try actually makes me want to cook instead of ordering in, which is my default, unfortunately. But pampered, not perfect. It is what it is. So, all right. Anybody has any other questions? Feel free to drop it. Otherwise, I hope to see you all converting some of those guest specials from this month into subscriptions, and keep your eye out for potentially some interesting subscription news next month. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye.